Hello? Uh-oh. Let's see what Spirit has for you today. So far we got the Three of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. So, you could be getting to a greater sense of stability within yourself after manipulation, deception, and different levels of heartbreak. Okay, so you could be grounding yourself with a greater truth and really kind of knowing what it is that you're wanting to bring into your life as you close out painful cycles. Okay, I think I'm going to do, yeah, you could be really kind of leveling up within your skill and your ability and knowing what it is that you're wanting to build and form. Okay, no longer allowing for unaligned or false truths to be taking the forefront. Okay, you could be knowing what it is that you're wanting to fight for and towards. All right, and I'm going to do different piles. Okay, so let's see what we got right here. Different piles. Okay, take that one out. Okay. Ah. Okay, let's start with this. This over here. Put these together. Okay, we got, need more room. Okay. I don't have enough room on my table right now. So we got 8 piles, okay? And right here, yeah, you could have been doing a lot of work, okay? Getting to a greater sense of strength within what it is that you're working towards, okay? And creating a balance within yourself. All right, let's see, one more shuffle. Ooh, we got the Knight of Cups. You'd be ready to move forward with what you feel is meaningful within your heart, okay? Oh. I don't think you saw it, but it like flew out and landed right on the pile. I got this song. I think it was just because I was in a store and it was playing or something like that, but it's that, oh, Ophelia, you've been on my mind, girl, since it's blood, you know, that one. So I'm like just repeating in my head, so anyway. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we got. Alright, we got the Knight of Swords and the Empress, so you could be quickly moving forward towards what it is that you feel is meant for you, okay, what you're meant to be receiving, and you could be opening yourself up, you know, as you take action to get ready to embrace what it is that you're meant to have in your life, okay, you could be knowing what steps. We got the Knight of Wands, or Knight of Swords to the King of Swords, so you could be, you know, as you initiate and take action, you could be easily being able to recognize the steps that you're meant to be taking. Okay, you could be creating a balance and, within yourself and really knowing what you're meant to open up and embrace and what you're needing to release. And, oh, how cute. You got Justice, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Three of Swords. So you know that the steps that you're taking are leading you towards, you know, true balance and justice. And having, you know, a truth that is supported by the wisdom within you, to know that this is leading you towards your long-term goals and making up for, you know, the pain that you had experienced prior. Okay. All right. Let's see. Yeah, you could be feeling, really positive about the skills and the abilities that you have created and formed, and, the mastery of, what it is that you're wanting to form and build. You could be really seeing things in a much more positive light with the Queen of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. Like I was, saw when I was shuffling, you could be, really knowing what it is that you're wanting to embrace and feeling grounded within this as you are closing yourself out from negative and painful cycles and are opening yourself up to the true desired expression, emotional expression that you have within you. Wow, the two cards that I was talking about when I was shuffling as well right here. So you could have held your ground when it came to manipulation, deception. It could have been, overwhelming in different ways where you're feeling that you're restricted, but you could be also recognizing that those situations that you'd experienced were, meant to try and keep you from your, true desires and your what you would consider a wish come true. And so at this point you are, retaining hope for, achieving what it is that you are truly desiring of. Okay, so you could be, like I was saying, you could have been holding on to, the pain and the hardship previously, but you could be now knowing that what it is that you're desiring to achieve is that much more important or meaningful. Okay, and we have the King of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups right here. You could be, as you stabilize yourself, knowing where it is that you long to be and are willing to take the action, feeling that you are truly prepared and have gone through the the transformative awarenesses that have helped for you to be illuminated to, not only what you've been fearful of, but what it is that you are truly desiring subconsciously. Okay. Oh, let's see. Uh-oh. And the Knight of Pentacles is coming out in reverse, so you could be really, picking up the pace where you had certain levels of anxiety. You could be that much more intentional and desiring of stabilizing yourself and expressing yourself in a loving way. You could be really feeling that what you'd envisioned for yourself is within sight and within reach. And you could be recognizing what it is that you're wanting to devote yourself to. Lions could be relevant, but you could be getting the courage and the strength and the confidence that you need in order to move forward, following the signs and putting the efforts into what it is that you're truly wanting to devote yourself to. Okay, and you could be recognizing that you're moving forward towards an abundant new beginning that you feel is a true gift. Okay, and this could be something that is supported by others, or that you are receiving from others that you're, desiring of working with. But at this time, you've been able to look at things from a different perspective, and really kind of surrender into what you feel are your desired plans. You could be feeling that you've gotten the cooperation needed to navigate through the outlook of scarcity and lack, and really create the momentum. Like I was saying earlier, knowing the steps that you're needing to take. You could be having a recognition of the guidance that you're receiving and really holding this within you as if it is the ultimate truth, instead of, allowing for yourself to be swayed in different directions by illusionary outlooks. And we have two of these in this pile. Were the Hanged Man right here. So it's like with altering your perspective and seeing the adjustments that are needed to be done by you, you could be feeling that much more confident in moving forward on the destined path that you're meant to be. Okay, you're no longer questioning outside scenarios, and as you walk away from what you recognize are not in alignment with your desired emotional expression, you are, let me see, like feeling that much more confident with taking the action of expressing yourself and moving forward towards what you feel is a desired, let me see, like, connection, but also, like, not just like, like you're moving forward, in unison with a larger group, instead of feeling like this is only, all on you to do, okay? Like, you could be feeling that you are being supported in a way that is motivating you and helping for you to recognize that your let me see, desired outcome is not so far out of reach, right? So it's like you're recognizing the strength of your internal compass and your intuition, and you could be getting to a position where you're ready to present the message that you're wanting to share, and knowing that this is something that is aligning you with your higher self and helping for, you know, to educate and inform others of the awarenesses that you formed, okay? We got the Strength and the Knight of Wands, so you could be feeling truly confident and inspired as you move forward in this purposeful direction, feeling that you have the courage and the strength to achieve this, okay? Right, and we have the Knight of Swords and the Six of Pentacles. You could be quickly, you know, really wanting to get yourself into this position where you're receiving what it is that you're desiring of, and being able to express and give in the way that you're desiring of, instead of feeling that there will be an imbalance within the give and take of the situation. And you could be like no longer hesitant in the way that let me see, that you may have been previously. Yeah, look at that, how cute. So we got the Fool and the Ace of Cups, okay, and the Five of Wands. You'd be looking at the situation in a much more joyful and lighthearted way, feeling much more carefree as you open yourself up to a new emotionally fulfilling beginning. Eagles could be relevant, lotus flowers, and excuse me, the sun right there. You could be feeling like you are, you know, being divinely led, illuminated, and really kind of coming out of a situation where there had been a lot of difficulty, but you're able to present yourself in the way that you're truly desiring of, while having a true, you know, connected and cooperative relationship with God and others are in your circle at this point, okay? Hey-oh, watch it. Okay, okay. Alright, let's see what we got here. Okay, so, you could be recognizing the symbolism in your life at this time and feeling much more prepared. Kind of like you are asserting yourself in order to lead yourself and others in the direction that you're desiring to go. You have a greater sense of worth within what it is that you're wanting to present. And you could be facing certain situations that you had been restricting yourself from previously, okay? We have the King of Wands and the Emperor right here. You could be, you know, really recognizing that the alignment within what you'd envisioned and the action that you're needing to be taking are, you know, like the alignment is occurring in a way where you're no longer questioning, and you can be more straightforward about what you're desiring to will into your reality, okay? Like, it could have been something that was you know, kept to yourself, or that you had envisioned but didn't really give it the stock that you felt it needed in order to come to fulfillment. But at this time, you could be feeling like you are you know, ready to take action with this awareness, and are, you know, no longer questioning yourself, because it's, you know that this is what it is that you are wanting to form and create for your long-term goals. Okay. Right. Oh, how cute. And we got the Wheel of Fortune, the Queen of Pentacles, okay, the Six of Pentacles, the Tower, and the Empress. So you could be, you know, really ready with you know, the awareness that you formed, that you know, the stability that you've created and what it is that you're bringing into your life. You could be ready to move into this new chapter, knowing that there will be major shifts and changes in your life, but you're also going to be receiving what you're desiring of, and being able to express yourself and give in the way that you want to as well. That's creating a greater balance, not only for yourself, but with the people involved. And you could be knowing that as you take action and assert yourself more intentionally, you're moving forward towards, you know, a divine counterpart, or, you know, with knowing that you are receiving of the life that you're, you know, truly wanting to create. Oh, look at, look at the Magician. So yeah, you can open yourself up to, you know, really co-creating within the universe, you knowing what you're not wanting to open yourself up to, and you know what would be truly fulfilling and giving you a more joyful expression. Okay. And you could be recognizing that you are embracing what had been difficult previously, but you're ready to physically bring this into your life. Okay. Healing from you know, inner child wounds, and getting to a more joyful and innocent expression, and closing out cycles of pain and negativity with a greater sense of discernment on how it is that you're meant to be moving forward. Both these cards are about moving forward right here. So it's like you're moving forward away from negativity, but also you are getting on your desired path in a more balanced way, and ready to present meaningful and passionate messages or emotional expression, feeling like you're able to follow your intuition. Excuse me. And you're able to utilize your truth to, you know, move forward towards what it is, like I was saying before, that you're really wanting to create. You know, creating the environment that you're wanting to, knowing what it is that you're wanting to pour into a situation, and staying true to yourself, and you're, you know, being able to express yourself openly instead of holding back what you feel is truly meaningful. Okay, we got the Magician again right there. So it's like, ouch. In order to create and manifest in an aligned way, you need to be truthful with yourself, you know, because if you are, you know, you're saying one thing and then it doesn't hit right, like within your body or emotional or mental awareness, then it's not going to continue. It's like almost having a light, you know, unplugged, right? And you're trying to turn it on, you know, like it has to have that electric, you know, spark or charge that is going to give it the power and the oomph to, you know, take action in the way that you're wanting to. So it's like, if you are, you know, leaving your emotions out of a situation and you're just saying something, the truth of it isn't connected with your, you know, emotional awareness. And so it's going to just kind of like fizzle out. But if you are aligned with your truth within your, you know, head and your heart, and you're aligning yourself in those different ways, then what it is that you're working towards manifesting will be coming that much more naturally. Okay, and we got the Wheel of Fortune, so you, and the Six of Wands, how cute. So you could really be taking action in a way where you are aligned. Look at like how they're even holding the Wheel of Fortune right there, you know, like it's like, you know, what it is that's important to you, what you're wanting to move forward towards, what you're allowing. And at this time, you could be really moving much more triumphantly and successfully in a way that you are, you know, confident within, you know, the position that you've brought yourself to, but also, you know, all that you've navigated through and where it is that you're arriving. Okay. I was going to do another deck really quick. So let me get these out of the way. Just do a little closeout real quick. Oh, Ophelia. Ay, 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 ay. No. Oh, crap. They all fell down and we all fall down. Anyway, okay. That's like a little song I used to sing with the kids. Okay. I'm gonna have to pick the rest of those up later. Slip it. Let me see. Oh, that's funny. There's only 2 cards that fell. Okay, so we got the Page of Swords and 6 of Wands. You could be feeling, you know, that what it is that you were curious of or educating yourself within could be, you know, really leading you towards, you know, a true desired and successful outcome. Okay. And that's pretty cool. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. What's funny is, like, I'll be doing these readings and I'm like, I'm saying words, blah, blah, blah. And then I watch it later, I'm like, that made sense, actually. You know, anyway, so hopefully it's making sense. But we got the evil eye, not cool. But you're ascending. Okay, so you could have had other people's negativity being placed upon you. Okay, it could have been about jealousy or envy in different ways. But where it had been previously affecting you, you could be no longer allowing... Uh-oh, look at this. Yikes. You could be no longer allowing other people's negative intentions to get you off course, okay? And it's like, you know, where you had seen where you're meant to be, you could be, you know, really getting ready to embrace, you know, this position more intentionally and elevate above the negativity that other people have placed upon you, okay? Yeah, there's certain endings that have occurred that were trying to, you know, get you off track, okay? But you could be feeling that you are on your true desired and destined path, okay? There could have been, we got a karmic feminine right here. There could have been, you know, take it how it resonates if you're a masculine or, you know, however it resonates for you. Could have had a karmic in your life, okay? And we got animosity right there, yeah. So, there could have been situations that were fueled by, you know, tit for tat type of scenarios where, you know, oh, they did this, and so I'm going to do this, and blah, blah, blah. And at this point, you are, you know, opening yourself up to what you feel is a true gift in your life that is adding to your life instead of having the outlook of what is taken away or, you know, what kind of checklist you're needing to be concerned about when it comes to how somebody else is making you feel or putting you through, okay? And this is kind of similar to something that I saw when I was astral projecting one time. So you could be kind of recognizing that you are reaching greater heights and becoming more aligned and in tune with where it is that you're meant to be. Okay. That song just keeps playing in my head. Oh, Ophelia. It's not even like my normal music or anything. Let's see. I feel like I dropped another one. Oh, there is. There's another one down there. Let's see. Yeah, somebody could have been feeling like they were missing out on what they felt was a wish come true. But, oh, look at, oh, wow, okay. But you could be coming into a position where you're feeling much more stable within the, you know, the structure that you have within your life. You could be getting to a much more abundant situation or feeling that, you know, it's like you have much more access to what it is that you're desiring of, okay? And you could be receiving, you know, what you feel is a true gift in your life. You're no longer bothered by what had been holding you down or weighing you down. And you could be moving into a relationship dynamic where you are, you know, knowing that both parties are having something that they can add to the situation to elevate, okay? You could have felt that you were being isolated, abandoned, or rejected previously. But at this point, you could be feeling that you are, you know, really surrounded by ancestral guidance, that you've never really been alone, and you could have been assisted with the work and the efforts in order to come to a more abundant position. You're going through a major transformation or transition when it comes to the jealousy and envy that you've been surrounded by. And you could be, you know, getting to a position where there's just, you're surrounded by, you know, situations that are abundant and creating abundance instead of other people's negative intention that is taking away from you, okay? As you give yourself, you know, more self-love, you're recognizing what situations are able to be trusted, and you could be recognizing, you know, what a true soul connection is at this point. You could have been in a position where you'd closed your feelings off, or, you know, kind of put them on the back burner, allowed for karmic behavior to take the forefront, and had been focusing on, you know, lustful intentions. But at this point, you're recognizing, the abusive quality that was formed and created, and the destruction that had occurred based on that outlook or perception or way of being, okay? Okay. And at this point, you could be feeling like you are able to focus more on what you feel truly drawn into, what is magnetizing you, and leading you towards, you know, a more solid commitment, okay? You could be seeing that your path is being made straight, and you can envision what your future has to bring in for you, okay? You could be seeing that certain, you know, other people's animosity or evil eye, you know, intentions had been keeping you in bondage, and separating you from where it is that you're desiring to be, okay? And it could have even been just like, you know, out of care and concern that you were not wanting to, you know, place pain on other people or allow for your desires to do so, you know? But at the same time, it's like, if somebody is controlling you based on negative means, that isn't, you know, a loving or desired expression that could be leading you or elevating you. It's just something that is where someone else is trying to keep you where they want you, instead of allowing for the true growth that you're needing or meant to have in your life, okay? So you could be recognizing, looking at things from a different perspective, instead of, you know, being sympathetic to other people's desires. You could be really seeing the importance within yours as well. Excuse me, confirmation, I guess. And you could be allowing to really put yourself in the spotlight in a way that, you know, that as you take action, you are elevating, and it's not something that you are wanting to put on hold anymore, okay? Yeah, you could have certain, you know, emotional pain and conflict that is coming to an end as you align with your divine expression, okay? You could be releasing yourself from certain entity attachments or, you know, emotional attachments, and focusing more on a situation where, you know, loving expression is at the forefront, okay? We got Earth Angel right here, and Sweetheart, okay? So you could be maturing in a way that is elevating you out of the scarcity mindset that had been imprisoning you or keeping you, you know, stuck. And you could be really kind of aligning in a way where you are, you know, like I said, aligning with your own divinity. And let's see. There could be, you know, a major shift or surprising expression where you are no longer emphasizing or expressing negativity, okay? You could be recognizing that the confusion that you had been holding on to was illusionary or false, and you focus more on what you could be really achieving, what you could be achieving within real love, okay? And you're moving forward, moving on from conflict and freeing and liberating yourself from the negativity and the difficulty that had occurred previously. Okay, so you could also be seeing the difference between, you know, what had, you know, what your normal type of expression was when you were in those difficult times, and, you know, how much more easily and naturally you're able to align in a way that is, you know, natural for you, but, you know, elevated as well. So instead, like, somebody could have been keeping you confused and irritated and pissed off, and you could have been like, this is just my personality or something, you know, and then you get out of that situation, you're like, that's not how I was meant to be expressing myself at all times, you know. So you could be getting to a much more a greater sense of ease. Okay, all right. And yeah, you could be recognizing how someone else's negativity or lack of emotional connection had been, you know, taking the forefront instead of you being able to express your divinity previously. Okay, all right. Yeah, instead of focusing on the mental or emotional instability or abuse, you could be focused more on what it is that's really drawing you in and what it is that you're enamored by, okay? So you've been put in a position previously where you're focusing on all the negativity and the difficulty, but that was holding you back from what it was that you're meant to be truly forming and creating. And you could be recognizing how you know, the opposition in your life had been being expressed in a pretty much ritual form, okay? You could have been like, you know, why are all these things happening? And, you know, oh my gosh, I got all this difficulty and hard times or whatever. You know, let me transmute that really quick. Everything's great. You could have been like, you know, feeling that way in a certain way, and then you could kind of look back and be like, oh, it's like almost like a formula that they were using to keep me in this position, you know. Every time I'm about to do this thing, they're like, no, 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 but what about me, and blah, 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 you know, like, ugh, it's annoying, huh? But, like, I know how that, you know, like, I'd be celebrating a birthday for somebody in the family, or it would be some type of event, or even, you know, a sad time type of situation, but your focus is somewhere else. You know, I had somebody around that would be like, well, what about me, and blah, 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 and, you know, start a fight or disrupt a situation just to have the attention on them instead of what it is that you're meant to be focused on. That could have been elevating or, you know, creating some type of normalcy in your life, you know. So it's like that kind of scenario where it's like you could start to see the patterns that are being that much more easily like, or not like, I mean, you could be much more easily being able to see the patterns that had been being expressed that were confusing or creating chaos or turmoil in your life, you know. So it's like, as you step away and start focusing on what you feel is important, you could be seeing the patterns, the ritual patterns that had been consuming you previously, okay? So as you focus more on the love that you're wanting to share and express, and pay more attention to the healed aspects and dynamics that you have within you, or that you're, you know, opening yourself up to, you could be recognizing that the evil eye scenarios that you've been, you know, having to be a part of or, you know, partake within are now being blocked, and those people no longer have the access, okay? So the veil also could be being thinned in a way that you are much more easily able to see the truth of a situation, And, you know, it's like something where once you get to a certain position, you're no longer allowing for yourself to open up to those negative or false scenarios anymore. Okay, so you could be recognizing that, you know, the false narratives that were being focused on were, you know, manipulative tactics that were keeping you from what you were unaware of that you were meant to be receiving. Okay, and yowza. You could be recognizing that they were trying to keep you from, you know, ascending into the true position that you're meant to be, the true connections that you're meant to have. And we have karmic feminine and divine feminine with theft right there in the middle, or thief. So it's like somebody could have been really wanting to take away from the divine connection that they knew or you know is meant for you. But at this point, you could be feeling much more comfortable and at ease and alignment with what it is that you are truly meant to be manifesting. Oh, look at that. Twin flame. So you could be, you know, getting to a position where you're no longer allowing for those false scenarios to take precedence, and you could be seeing the changes that are needed to move purposefully towards where you're meant to be. Okay, your karma could be balancing out in different ways. And look at that, we got a love offer. You can be ready to, you know, present yourself more openly and intentionally. Ooh, we got an awakening right there. You can be recognizing that you know, you can be recognizing your why, you know, a feeling of what your purpose truly is, instead of allowing for other people to take you so far off course that you don't feel it's attainable. You could be recognizing the truth within a situation and moving forward, okay, with a greater sense of faith within the work that it is that you're meant to be doing. You could be, let me see, ready to uplift the energy of the earth to the love frequency, okay? And we got Starseed right there. You could be recognizing that you're, oh, and then Priestess right there. So you could be seeing that, you know, there is a greater purpose than you had possibly been aware of previously, okay? And you can be ready to express yourself as you are, instead of focusing on the negative intentions with others that others have. Ready to share a message that you feel is truly honorable, okay? And taking leadership when it comes to the truth that you know of to be true, instead of allowing for third-party dynamics to, you know, lead you astray, okay? Yeah, you can be feeling that you are working forward, you know, purposefully, not only for yourself, but for future generations. Oh, and we got family right there, okay? Healing your inner child and creating a greater abundance for your own familial dynamics, okay? All right. There could have been expectations, you know, of, you know, other people just trying to get you off course, and, you know, maybe that you're leading yourself into another situation where there would be difficulty. But at this point, you could be really recognizing that all those situations that had been occurring were to keep you off course from moving forward in an aligned way, okay? So once you take on a greater sense of importance with the work that you are doing, you could be finding that you are able to supersede the negativity and elevate and move into the position that you're truly meant to be in, okay? Okay. Let's see, I'm just going to pull a couple from here. All right, you could be moving forward independently, and God has blessed this situation, okay? Just need to maintain your patience. Pay attention to the signs. What is bringing you a greater sense of like a more positive or elevated expression, and what you feel is, you know, truly purposeful within you, okay? So keep calm. Whatever, you know, when something else is creating stress within you too, you know, like that's something that you could recognize, like this isn't how I'm supposed to be feeling. Even, you know, there's stressful times and everything like that, but when you know that you're not being supported in the way that you, come on, that you need, that you know is needed for you to be successful, you know, you could be recognizing what is, you know, in the way, taking away from your well-being. Oh my gosh, I can't step away now. So yeah, you could be getting to a greater recognition of, you know, what is a, you know, it said risk right there, okay? Like what is taking away from what you're meant to be creating. And when you have a greater sense of calm or ease or elevated expression, you could be recognizing that too, okay? Oh, look at, we got luck. All right, and so you're moving into a much more lucky or luck-fueled type of situation, and you could be getting more comfortable with expressing your story. You could be getting to a greater sense of calm within this as well, instead of having that high stress type of outlook or dynamic, okay? These cards. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, that's, oh, that's a lot. Okay, let's see what we got here. All right. Yeah, so you could have gone through different battles, but at this point, you could be recognizing, you know, you're moving forward towards a situation that is bringing you a more elevated, you know, natural state of being, and you could be gaining a lot more in your life, getting to a more prosperous position and feeling much more creative and innovative. Okay, we have YZ, the numbers 111, 222, and 7. So you'd be closing out certain cycles, moving into a more lucky and prosperous position, creating new beginnings within partnerships, and moving forward towards a situation that is bringing you true justice and truth and clarity and balance into your life, okay? You could be recognizing that the work and the changes that you're making are important for, you know, the greater good, not only for yourself, and you could be paying attention to different situations with a greater sense of compassion. We have, you could be kind of surprised with how things play out, but you could be alchemizing and transmuting certain conflict, okay, that had been taking the forefront in your life. You could be getting to a more unified position with the abundance that you're creating, and, you know, getting to a greater sense of fertility with what you're creating as well. You're able to be honest moving forward towards what you feel is a true quest or mission or journey that you're meant to be beginning or taking action within. And you could be feeling a true sense of passion within what you feel is a long-term situation with a soulmate. And we got A, B, C, D, and the number 1. So you could be really feeling like you're bringing yourself into a brand new beginning. Okay, intuitively, emotionally, and you know, like authentically moving alongside God, and let me see, like creating a more positive outcome within yourself and within, you know, the situation. Okay, look at, we got positive and resolution. Positive resolution. So yeah, you could be getting to a position where you're feeling the support, that you're receiving the support that you needed to get to, you know, create a, you know, positive outcome, okay, and make the shifts and changes that you're needing to in order to lead yourself towards a true victory. It says victory is yours. It's your time, okay? So let's see. You could be moving into, you know, new territory. We got children right here. Choose your words wisely. We got a woman right there. but you could be getting to a position where your potential is truly unleashed and you're moving forward towards a wish come true and bliss, all right? And a greater sense of calm where you had been in what you felt was a stalemate. You could be recognizing that this is what your soul had been waiting for, okay? And that other people were trying to take away from you, okay? But God has blessed the situation. You can rest within this. And, you know, heartbreak will be no longer a part of your life, okay? Or your mentality, but you're moving forward towards abundance. And you could be getting to a greater confidence within the awarenesses and the truths that you're sharing and the blessings that you're opening yourself up to, okay? Creating a greater stability and moving forward more adventurously. You could be feeling like you've received a second chance in life in different ways. And what you've envisioned for yourself is, you know, moving forward towards new creative ventures, okay, where you can open yourself up emotionally and choose intentionally. You're receiving the support that is helping to give you a greater sense of happiness. And you could be changing from a position where you'd been so focused on you know, individuals' needs or being unbalanced, and you'd be moving into a greater sense of abundance within your divinity. Okay, there could have been delays, but you're having a new start. There's just a need for you to tune into the frequency of love. And look at that, we got network and destiny. Okay, so you could be moving forward in a way that you are creating the connections that you're needing to move into what your true destined and fated purpose is. Okay. Well. All right, well, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, hopefully this helped, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye.